Right, we should be good now. Fucking might as well live stream it. Make myself a commentator, even though people may or may not like it. Alright, turn that off. Alright, this could definitely get interesting. So, as you can read by the title of the live stream, this is TNR Malaysia, with a quite measly 6 people on grid of El Majacko, OP Magic, Cart Dude 45, I'm Chucky, Rumble, and Honest Croc. Right, so the fan favourite to take pole here is of course El Majacko, as he is currently, at least to my knowledge, is leading the championship. So he could definitely be looking to extend the championship lead from the likes of Cart Dude and OP Magic. As we just wait for them to pull out the pits, they must be just setting up setups and tyres. And then first person to get out will hop on board. Oh, there's some movement. Is that in the Merc garage? Oh no, that is Jacko. That's moving out in the Force India paddock. And I believe Cart Dude along with him is also going out. Wait to see what the engineer's doing. Currently just standing there with his arm out. But anyway, oh, he's not there anymore. What the fuck? Alright. Well, we can definitely hop on board with Jacko and watch him go around for his outlap. Now, even from my experience, Jacko is a extremely fast driver, so he could definitely pull off either an easy win or an easy pole position. Depends on how much Cart Dude wants to run him out. But anyway, Rumble and Chucky have also come out, who I believe are teammates in the Red Bulls, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I'm already mistaken. Rumble's in the McLaren. And, oh, never mind, they were teammates, just wrong team. Damn. Anyway, Jacko is open to actually pull off a win, because last season he ended up losing the race to yours truly, after I had some quite considerable tyre wear, as to say the least. Anyway, Honest Croc is also out on his outlap, but we'll be sticking on board with Jacko. Well, no, Malaysia is definitely one of those tricky-ish tracks with all of its bumps and grooves. And speaking of which, there is a yellow flag already. I wonder who that's for. That is definitely for Chucky, who it appears had a movement coming out of that hairpin going up the hill. Oh, that was a nice catch by Chucky, the current pole sitter. Judging by the standings, Chucky yet again with a quite easy catch. Doing really well keeping the car in check. Anyway, here we go on board with Jacko. Let's see how he ends up pulling off this hot lap masterclass real fast. So he stays outside, brakes at about the 70-meter board, which is a bit too late, but he actually clips the apex nicely going out. Ooh, that was a bit iffy, but keeps it going, and keeps some quite considerable pace. He's shifting quite early, so I don't know, that might be a tactic for the Force India. I may have to apply that in AOR. Thanks for the tip, Jacko. But anyway, oh no, he's long shifting now. He's trying to throw me off for AOR. He's trying to help Contrast win. Damn you. But nice setup for those two corners. Runs a bit out wide. That might have been a bit further than he wanted to. But anyway, gear 2 usually for this corner. He's votes to keep it in gear 3. And early shifts. Ooh, this could be definitely masterful for anniversary in HRL. This could definitely be interesting. But anyway, going on to the long right-hander that very sharply cuts in. Lucky not to hit that outside curve, because that will just spin your car and you will lose a lot of time because of it. But as you can see, he's strolling on quite nicely down the second left straight and around the final corner. We'll be wanting to clip it late. Oh, we've lost Chucky. What happened there? But as Jacko finishes his lap to set a 132.1. Now we don't know yet know if that's a decent lap or not, but we just have to wait for the likes of Cart Dude and OP Magic to come out, because apparently we've lost Chucky. And I don't know if Rumble or Honest have anything in the tank. Let's actually go on board with Rumble now. On those super softs with a big lockup, and he pulls it into the pits. Almost spins, bringing it in. Whew, that was close. Honest Crook coming around the last corner on softs. See how far back he is. And it's a 1:34.4. That is 2.279, sorry, away from Jacko. But I think Honest is going to be quite happy with that result, considering he's on the harder compound of the two. But we have Rumble getting wheeled in. I believe Jacko is just on a cooldown. Well, yep, you can quite clearly see, because that's usually not the right gear so you take going into those corners. You'll probably hear just random silences, or just silences in general. That's probably because I'm taking a drink, because I don't want to lose my voice. But yeah, no, it depends if Cartoon does actually want to qualify. That looked like for a second that Honest was on the inters. He isn't actually. And actually it looks like Honest is pushing. Let's see this. Let's see if he's able to pull anything off now. Ooh, that is a hefty lockup. Well, let's see. Is he actually going for another lap, or was this just a really fast out lap? Oh, sorry, in lap. Ooh, that's a big lockup, and it was just a very fast in lap. Alright then. Well, he's shredding those softs though. He doesn't want to be doing that. He wants to keep those in nick condition. He's gear shifted a bit too far down as well. Put it in neutral 3 times. That's a classy way of going into the pits. Well, Rumble's out on an out lap. So up on board with him until we get the likes of Cartoon or OP coming out. Really just depend on one of the two. All in all though, it could definitely be a mildly interesting race. It depends on what ends up happening throughout the, I believe. Oh, Rumble, catch it! Nice save. That was a really nice save there. See if he can keep it on. Jacko just informing Chuck that he might be able to rejoin. If he can, that'll be all the better, because a race with only 5 drivers is just not a race worth going for. As you can see, Rumble just doesn't look like he's getting everything out of those tyres. It just doesn't seem like it wants to stick. Oh, that's what I was on about. He's got on that curb and around she goes. McLaren Honda is facing the way he came, and whoa, he might have to go in for a switch of tyres. That is not what Rumble was looking for there on those new super softs. He's not looking to spin them. But is he pulling in? No, he's going out for a lap. Those tyres will be near shredded. So even if Jacko comes out in the exact same pair of boots that he did the fastest lap on, he'd still probably have less tyre than Rumble. Because Rumble's been catching the car left, right and centre and then ends up spinning it. He keeps on consistently locking up. That's not going to be helping him whatsoever. But anyway, Honest Crook is now on an out lap as well. Let's see where he is on track, and Jacko as well. When is Cardew going to make his move onto the track, or OP? Doesn't look like either of them have any interest. As Rumble, with another catch, he's currently like, sign him up for Nitrous Circuit. He's literally, he goes again in gear 8. He has the exact same problem I do. No matter what happens, like, you take the car like so slow, when it engine brakes, it just spins. And I can feel it. I can feel his pain, because you want to push it fast, but you just can't because the car is debilitating. OP's finally out on track. Let's see what he can pull out. Can he pull off a lap good enough to get to Jacko? As Rumble yet again catches the car. This is definitely the contrast between assist and no assist. Oh, that's gonna be... Oh, that's a bit messy. Rumble loses it at the worst possible place and ends up knocking off an end plate. I believe that's him retiring now. And he's left. Alright then. Anyway, here comes OP, Honest Crook's teammate. Let's see if he can deplace Honest Crook from that second place, or perhaps even jack off a pole. You never know. Chucky's now left. What the hell? I believe we're going to be only having 4 cars racing. Oh, Lord. You've got to ask yourself, is it even worth now? Because this is literally just going to be a 2-horse race, I believe, between Jacko and OP. Or Jacko and Carter. It can go multiple ways, but I have a weird... I hate to, like, single someone out, but I don't think Honest is going to have a lot of fun this race. I don't think any of these drivers are. Because it's going to be a lap 1 battle. Or a stint battle, and then strategy's going to kick in, and then they're going to see each other again. Anyway, OP around the final corner to start his one and only lap. Has an interesting sector to split there. 10 minutes and 44 seconds. Alright game, go home, you're drunk. But now Cartridge doesn't have enough time to get round. I don't even think Cartridge is qualifying anymore. However, OP could really use that pole position in order to boost himself up the little rankings that are left in TNR. Like, it was a well-run league, but I don't even think it takes it. I know it means diss, but this league really doesn't take itself seriously. Like, yeah, it's a league. It's on Tuesdays, but drivers don't really take it seriously. Almost half the grid is gone, and it's down to 4 drivers now in what is a points-paying race. So it's to the point where you can even basically, if someone crashes, you're in a podium position, which doesn't exactly make the standings all that fair. Because if you're the last person, well, if you're the last person standing in any race, then you're going to be first. But all it takes is one crash at the front, and you could be first. And that doesn't seem like a fun race to me. Jacko doesn't improve and ends up finishing with that 32-1. Can OP beat it, or will he end up having to face being stuck behind? He almost hits the wall. What can he pull off? He pulls off a 32.6. That'll be a 32.65 if I'm correct with my math. Yep. And let's see if Honest can improve on those super softs. It looks like he might be. Ooh, that's a bit hairy. Can he keep it on track though? He will. So let's see, can Honest pull off his best qualifying yet of 3rd place? According to my knowledge, he probably will, because everyone else has finished. Let's see if Honest, what lap time can he pull off? Is it anywhere competitive to the likes of his teammate or the leaders? Let's see as he comes across the line. It's going to be a 33.854. It's only a 5/10 improvement over a soft time. That's not looking nice, but as you can see, Jacko takes pole, OP takes 2nd, and Honest Crook finishes off the qualifiers in 3rd place. I don't know if Carter's racing or not, but if he is, he has to start getting moving. It's basically just physics failure. Alright. Nagayan. Anyway, looks to be a Red Bull Racing versus Force India race. That's even if Cardude's here. But I have a very, very dark feeling that Jacko is probably going to run away with this race unless OP can pull something out of the bag and keep him in check. I have a weird feeling this is not going to be a fun race to be in or spectate. And of course it's the one race I do spectate at TNR. Apparently there's been fireworks going off in other races. And unfortunately, the one race I do decide to tune in, it's only a 4-car race. Let's see if the drivers even want to participate in it, let alone drive the, I think the 27 laps it is. I'm too busy thinking about Monza at that point. I genuinely have no idea who that fine Mugen guy is. Probably completely butchered his name, and I'm sorry. I don't even think Cardude's here, which is really bad for Force India, because that means that if Cardude isn't here, no matter what, Red Bull will outscore Force India, even if Jacko finishes first and those two don't finish. But anyway, 5 red lights. There's no looks to be no formation lap. They're away. Oh, Cardude is here. He's decided to choose the softs. And he pulls instantly into the slipstream of Honest Crook. It is literally just a 2-team race. Honest Crook defending off of Cardude. Cardude might do him around the outside. Meanwhile, it's side by side for the lead. Can OP pull it off? He tried to do it, but no, Jacko will out-traction him and keep the lead. Cardude moves up into 3rd place. To have any chance of staying in this race, he needs to stick to the back of the 2 battling leaders. As OP takes the lead going down the inside, Jacko, can he make a move back? He can't. Oh, he might be able to. OP's run a bit out wide. Oh, that would have been a weldy move if that ended up happening. Oh, OP's off circuit. Oh, and Honest Crook's trying to make a move back on Cardude. Cardude holds around the outside, and OP is losing hand over fist thanks to that gravel on his tyres. And now he's under the pressure of Cardude. Can he hold it round the outside? He probably will, because he get the traction. He will. And now Honest might be shaping up a mood on Cardude. But Jacko already 1.1 second lead. I don't know if OP's going to be able to reel him back in, but it is a 28 lap race. So Jacko could screw it up somewhere, you never know. Oh, Honest Crook, was that saved? It was. What a save. That is bloody stellar. But now OP, as we head back to the main course of action of Cardude, trying to catch up to the back of OP. He probably has the pace to do it, but you never know. As OP looks to be reeling back Jacko, I think. Nope, he's losing time. No, he's gaining time. This game is having fun. But Cardude is really looking to set his fangs into the back of that Red Bull to see if he can get through. And Honest Crook, like I said, that one mistake has just taken him out of the fight and probably out of any contention for the win, which is very unfortunate for the Red Bull drivers and the Red Bulls themselves, as Force India will outscore them this race if the points stay this way, and Jacko will end up extending his lead over the likes of OP and Cardude. So it really could be coming down to the fact that Cardude may get a bit of a jealousy and try to take the win from his teammate, but it depends on whether or not he's thinking about the points or not for Jacko to see if he can stay ahead. But at this point I don't think it really matters with a 4-car turn-up. So no, it depends on what mindset these guys are in, really. But OP rocking the 28, trying to keep up with Jacko, but he's losing time. He may have to pump it up into Rich if he wants to keep up. Let's get the telemetry up to see if he is. I probably got the wrong thing up. Oh, I'm gonna look so stupid if I have the wrong thing up. Anyway, as I fiddle around with all the stuff in existence. Nah, I put it back into disable because I can't see the fuel mix. As you can see, Jacko sets a 35.7. That's nowhere near the thundering pace he had in qualifying. And DRS now gets enabled. So if OP can just pull that gap back down to a second, he could have a fighting chance of keeping up. But Jacko just seems to be that dominant force in that pink color. Pardon me. A pink colour car. And oh, he's rocking the 43 as well. That's the first time I've actually seen that number because he's never been ahead of me. Kick, kick. But nah. No, in all honesty, Jacko's rocking the 43, OP's rocking the 28, and it'll be fun to see. And Cardude's rocking of course, the number 45. And Honest Crook, ooh, let's see if the camera's decided to be nice. Yep, he's running the 79. Thank you for not running the 78, my dude. Alright. But here we go. Ooh, shit. That was something. OP Magic. Oh, that's game over. That is now Force India 1-2. And OP is going to be kicking himself for that mistake. And that's going to make his life a living hell through this corner. And now Crook has a chance to get himself back on the podium. For when it seemed bleak, his own teammate ends up screwing up. And now Honest Crook can get himself into the slipstream if he so chooses. Of course he wants to. But Honest really let on the brakes there. Let's see if he can get within DRS of his teammate. See if we get a classic Mark Webber Sebastian Vettel moment here. And here comes Honest. He isn't close enough for DRS though, so I don't know if he's going to be able to stay in touching distance. He nails the line for turn 1. He might be able to, but it just depends on how much speed he's able to carry through those corners with those lines. And Jacko's already got a 4-second gap to Kart Dude, so it might be a lost cause to try to get back to the lead. But Honest, oh, it is Honest, sorry. I had a mind blank moment. Honest is really not going to be looking forward to when he ends up losing like massive time over OP, because that means that his only chance of getting back up into the podium positions will be disappearing along with OP's magic number 28. I'm surprised he didn't go for the 3, but I think that might have been taken actually. Yes, Honest with another save. Well done. He's showing some class, like saving, but it just unfortunately isn't paying out time-wise, and he goes off again. And now that leaves OP just to freely hound down Kart Dude, with the threat of his own teammate going down his back is no longer there. Even if he makes a mistake, I think he's going to be fine to keep on hold of that podium position. As El Jacko, I've never called him that before. I've always called him Jacko Majacko. El Jacko, I might start calling him that. But here we go. OP Magic is trying to catch up to the back of Kart Dude. Feels very weird just seeing 4 of those letters. Oh, 4 of those places. Wow, my head is really not into that. Not into the spectator. That was a very slow exit from OP. Or at least he sounded it rev-wise, but he's actually catching up to Kart Dude. This could possibly be the only battle between Kart Dude and OP that we see, because Jacko's pulled a 5-second gap to his teammate. And we may see a bit of Ferrari tactics here, or Lewis Hamilton tactics, with Kart Dude slowing up OP so Jacko can get further ahead. It really does yet again depend on what mindset these guys are in, whether or not they are there for the points, or what little they mean, or if they are free-for-alling, which they might be doing, depending on whether or not Kart Dude actually puts it up into gear as soon as Jacko ends up pitting. As OP makes another mistake. That one wasn't as costly, but it's still going to annoy him, because he can see that salmon-coloured car just disappearing over the horizon in the sun. I'll be surprised if he isn't getting blinded by how bright that sun is. Even spectator I can barely see. Because you can see the heat haze from Kart Dude's car. Honest Crook is a 5-second gap behind OP. I don't think he's going to be able to contend for that podium position anymore that he would have really dearly wanted. But as you can see, Kart Dude with an interesting paint scheme actually. That looks kind of snazzy. But here we go, OP 2.3 now. However, Kart Dude is losing more time to Jacko than OP is gaining on Kart Dude, which means even if OP gets past Kart Dude, he's just going to be stuck battling him. As we see the disappearing Red Bull going into the first corner. OP rocking a just black helmet. I don't know if he's going to get a custom paint job after this, or if he's just renting out the helmet because he's getting a custom paint job. But black does sort of suit the car actually, so I can't give him too much hellfire for it. Ooh, that is a moment. I was saying that for OP, and then all of a sudden Kart Dude goes off the track ahead of him. So, count that as both if you please. But now OP is now within that 2-second barrier, and he's going to be looking to get within that second barrier to get that DRS on Cardude. But that just means that with the 4/10s he just gained on Cardude, he's going to have to battle hard to get past, and then even then Jacko's got a 6.5 second gap. Just imagine how far that's going to get if they do end up, if OP and Cardude do end up battling. And I don't think Cardude really cares about that all that much, because as long as he holds up OP and is able to get that better strategy on him, he will hold on to second place in the longer run, because it'll be able to run the softer tyres at the end. Meanwhile, OP's going to be stuck on the mediums or the softs, and Cardude can run that super softs if he wants to, or the softs, if he ends up pulling off a super soft, or if he wants to just go soft and medium. Basically, what I'm saying here, just dragging on, is Cardude has the better version of the one stop. As soon as OP and Jacko's tyre die, they're going to have to go into the harder tyres for a bit longer than Cardude. And whilst that's happening, Cardude is going to be on the softs, which is faster than those mediums. And then we'll have tyre wear advantage over Cardude, over OP and Majacko after that. So basically, all that Cardude's doing is lulling Jacko into a sort of false sense of security, unless Jacko is expecting that. And Jacko might have made a mistake. Nope, that is literally just the timings being timings, because Jacko has just pulled apparently 7/10 out of his ass from somewhere. But anyway, OP has now got the DRS, and they both start going tandem style. This ain't drifting, fellas. None of you ain't Tanner Faust. You need to keep those cars straight and see if you're able to pass. That's got to be Crook. He didn't save it that time. Same corner that he made that amazing save, he didn't end up saving it there, and he's round and he's just floored it into the wall. That might be Honest Crook's race over and done with. It depends on whether or not he does decide to stick around for those points or not. But now OP's made a mistake, and I unfortunately end up missing that, and OP's in the pits. What happened with OP? And I'm very sad I missed that, because that would have been very crucial into why OP has jumped in earlier. But Honest Crook, 30 seconds down. Does he have damage to the front wing? Of course he does. He did floor it into that wall. Looks to be only an end plate though, because that half of the wing is still intact. So I don't know what kind of voodoo magic he's put on that front wing, but it doesn't actually look that serious. And he's continuing on, so it must be orange or yellow damage, because he felt like he'd continue on. Like, that's very rare. But now OP, what tyres? He's on the softs. He looks to be trying to undercut Jacko and Cardude, but at the same time, that means that the one stop is completely out the option for OP. He cannot pull those softs to the end now, unless he does some tyre wear hacks, which unfortunately I haven't been able to access to yet. So if he does, can he send me the link in Messenger to him? I could really appreciate them, because I'm getting punchers way too much in these races. But anyway, OP looks to be setting a bit faster, but that was all four wheels off the circuit. And Jacko is just extending that lead. He's in cruise control right now. And in he comes to, I believe, cut off that undercut from OP. Or it's just because his tyres are that dead. He enters the pits in gear 6. That's an interesting strategy. Oh, he was 4 seconds off. I don't know if that was because the game decided to count his time even though it came into the pits, or if he was just that far off. But anyway, Cardude now takes over the lead of the race, and if he can pull those tyres to, say, lap 12, he can pull off that one stop if he so chooses, and Jacko's got to keep that in mind, after all. And around comes OP, the final corner. Jacko's got him hands down. But now, Jacko on those cold tyres. Let's see if OP can put a dent in that 14-second gap. Well, the 10-second gap now, because the timings are having a drunken time. What is Crook? Does he pull into the pits? Yep, he does. I must be psychic. And I don't think Honest cares about this race anymore. 5 second stop go penalty For, there it is. So no matter what now, even if you crash out at this point, you're in a podium position, and that's really sad to see. That in a league race of TNR, which is Tuesday Night Racing, like, if any people are just watching this to watch it, and you haven't signed up, I think they might need the numbers. So if you feel like racing the likes of these four, then honest to God, like, hit up, I believe, the new league coordinator, Mighty Murph, if you're on PS4, or I believe they have a website, if I'm not mistaken. I might have to have one of these three drivers confirm it, or Murph confirm it, if they still have it. But anyway, Carter leads on from Jacko. Jacko has pulled a 15-second gap down to 12, so Jacko is flooring it. OP's keeping about the same distance, and he really does not want that to happen. If he wants to make any impact on Jacko now, he has to do it now. But I think Jacko's just too fast for him to do anything. But now the power position is all Kart Dudes, because now Jacko, after passing Kart Dude when he pits, has to pull a pit stop, and he's going to be on worn softs in order to do that. And Kart Dude will be on, even though it's fresh mediums, it's going to be a lot quicker than what Jacko's rubber currently is. Same with OP. OP's actually barely in that distance of that pit stop. So if Kart Dude does make that pit stop, OP is going to be about 2 seconds in front of him, and that is not the gap he wants, because then that means when he makes his pit stop, he's going to be about 22 seconds behind, and that is going to be an impossible gap for him to catch back. So really, it is just a strategy game. So now OP, his best option is just to punch it. He can't tire con his way to the end, because I believe Kart Dude's going to be coming in 2 laps time in order to make that one stop happen. Hence why he didn't ready up before, because he was trying to make it work. And he looks to be in just Cruiseville currently, because Jacko's caught him up about 1.3 seconds that lap. And a bit sideways, but he's keeping it. And there it is. That's why Jacko was catching him so much. So that's a 35.4. That is a blistering time in the middle of a race, especially on those softs. But anyway, OP looks to be slowly catching Kart Dude. Jacko is definitely like putting inroads into his teammate here, and with that, you've got to wonder if the Force India, if Jacko does catch Kart Dude before the end of Kart Dude's stint, which is highly unlikely unless Kart Dude makes up a massive mistake. There might be some team orders in play, especially if, come to the end of the race, and either Jacko was called Kart Dude, or Kart Dude has caught up to Jacko. It really just depends on now which way it is, and Jacko gets a bit sideways. And I know the amount of times Jacko says he doesn't. Oh, that's OP around, and that is going to be the end of the Red Bull race. Any chance for that victory that they were looking for is out the window now. It is now the fight between the two Force Indias, and this could be an interesting battle, but Jacko is just catching Kart Dude at a monumental rate, and OP, I believe, is just going to cruise control now, and that's a very sad sight to see. Red Bull's probably best chance of pulling off a win here, and it's been a bottle job really, and that's very unfortunate to see, because it would have been nice to see that Red Bull on the top step once again, but unfortunately the car just wasn't set up enough, and it looks to be either one of the Force Indias, unless there's a massive tangle up like Force India in real life have been doing, then it really does come down to this. And Jacko is catching up, is now a 9-second gap, and I don't even believe he's pushing anymore. Really just depends on how we see those sector splits. But now Kart Dude is Ooh, that was a very poorly sounding car, but I know it's running alright. But anyway, here comes Kart Dude coming around the... Ooh, that's a bit sideways. That's not going to help conserve his tyres. Let's see if Kart Dude ends up pinning this or next lap. Because this will, in theory, decide whether or not he's on that one stop or that elusive... That two stop or that elusive one stop, sorry. Let's see. Because Jacko can no longer pull off that one stop that he probably would have been hoping for in order to keep with Kart Dude. Kart Dude is not on the line to go into the pit, so he's making it to lap 13 on the softs, which is an incredible achievement. It really does depend now. Is he going to go and try pull off that one stop to super soft, sorry. It's going to really be interesting, because now if Jacko ends up catching up to the back of Kart Dude before he pits, this is going to be a dead race between Kart Dude and Jacko. All Jacko has to do is catch up 7 seconds, and all of a sudden it's no longer a strategy game. It is a race to the finish with a pit stop between them. So it really could be interesting. Or if Jacko's doing the inverse of what Kart Dude's doing, Kart Dude has got to pull off a massive gap back, and that might be undoable, because that is a 18-second gap. If Kart Dude does choose to pit now, that he has to catch up. But at the same time, Jacko will also have to pit if they are both on that, if Jacko's on that 2-stop or if he's on that 1-stop. Because obviously at the end of the stint, Jacko's tyres are going to be completely dead, but he's going to have that gap that he needs over Kart Dude. So it really could be a case of, can Kart Dude now either go for that 1-stop and Jacko's going for the 2-stop, or if they're both going for 1-stops and Jacko and Kart Dude can catch that gap back. We don't know yet. I haven't seen any times off of Kart Dude. I don't even know if he's got a stop as he pulls into the pits now, so it doesn't look like the 1-stop for Jacko is possible. However, if Kart Dude pulls on the mediums now, this could definitely be a strategy change for the likes of Force India. And Kart Dude, that has completely changed the game. A 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding. I don't think he was, but you never know. And is the mediums coming on? Very glitchy, but yes, it is the mediums coming on. So, yet again, it is the 1-stop for Kart Dude, and it looks to be the 2-stop for Jacko. And OP is sincerely not giving a fuck now. 3-second time penalty, so even if he was in it, I don't think he would have a chance now because of that penalty. So now it is just down between the two Force Indias. Jacko on 5 to 6 lap old tyres, and Kart Dude on fresh mediums, and he's going to be trying to bring that rubber to the end, and Jacko can't, so he's probably going to have to slot it onto the softs, super soft, sorry. So Jacko going for the aggressive 2-stop, and Kart Dude, because of that, he had that leisure of choosing that 1-stop or that 2-stop. He held all the cards at the start. Now it just depends on whether or not he can bluff his way into the win. But now, here comes... Ooh, I was about to say that's a shifty line. That was actually really nice. However, as we've been seeing all the time, like, they're running all 4 tyres off there, and that could be really harmful to the tyres. But anyway, Kart Dude and Jacko are now looking at a stalemate, really. They're not making any real inroads into each other. However, like we said, Jacko still has to pull off that one. And Jacko pulls into the pits, and that might be on for mediums. So I was expecting to see a huge run to the super softs, but apparently Kart Dude, Jacko, oh, he might actually be pulling in for a fresh set of softs. He is. Oh, things just got really heated now, because of course Kart Dude had to pull in for those mediums to make that mandatory set. However, Jacko doesn't. And now he can pull off softs to the end, which he has chosen to do. And now, all the cards are now in Jacko's favour of winning. Because I was never expecting that. But of course, as soon as I saw him pull in with 6 lap old tyres, it does cross your mind. Oh, hello. Oh, is this a safety car for a certain OP Magic? It is. They're going to have a 3-horse race to the end, and this is going to be very fun to watch for me. So this is good sportsmanship. There's only 3 cars in this race, and they've decided to make it that all cars do have a chance of getting it now. So that is very, very well played by the Force India boys to let OP have that chance and not just have that dreary race. However, Cardu's got to be thinking, how can he make Jacko wear out his tyres faster? Because, we've been saying before, those softs are definitely the faster tyres, and they'll have less tyre wear than Cardu's tyres, unless the mediums just have the most ridiculous tyre wear around the circuit. I don't yet know, because I haven't actually raced this circuit yet. But anyway, here comes the thundering Red Bull to catch back up to the 2 Force Indias. And as you can see, this is a very well played by these 2, definitely. They're making it a lot more fun to watch and to race in. I believe they're going to be doing the sprint setup. So basically, if one spins, then they all slow down for each other. And there they go. Cardu leads on from Elmer Jacko, and OP Magic now back in the fight for 3rd place. If only Honest Crook actually stayed in the lobby, they might have waited up for him. But alas, he didn't, and he ended up crashing himself basically out of the race. Oh, this is another safety car, apparently. Yep. I take it they're going to take it so when it's past the DRS to make it fair for Kart Dude. It all depends, or if they're actually doing a mock rolling start, which is what it normally would be if there was a safety car. And as you can see, the Force India and the Red Bull opening up that DRS, taking every advantage they can, and OP like basically destroying the mechanics of the back of that front wing, that rear wing, sorry. Basically, the Red Bull are going to be cursing his name when they bring it into the factory to repair that damn rear wing, because he's just broken it by flipping it up, back and down and up. But now, I believe, as we get on racing, Cardu takes the inside line to stop Jacko. Oh, he's moved back to the outside. Is OP going to make a move? No. No, he isn't. Hang on. I lost my voice. But anyway, the gap between the top 3 is the closest it's ever been. And Jacko is all over the back of his teammate here. This could definitely be a move if he so chooses to be. But I believe he might wait until that. Oh, that was a mistake from Kart Dude. And that means Jacko is going to sneak all the way through. This is a very risky place to hold it too wide. Is there contact? There isn't. However, OP now takes advantage of the Force India stuffing up. And now the Red Bull takes the lead and holds on to it. Let's see if he can keep on to that elusive first place. OP has been waiting for this for a while. And Jacko's down the inside. What the hell? This is all kicking off now. And Jacko takes over Cardu. And now all of a sudden Cardu has to stick to the back of this. Because all 3 of these guys are running to the end. And if Cardu does not stick onto the back of this, even if the softs die at the end of the stint, he's going to be nowhere near close enough on those mediums to make it. And Jacko is looking to be in the prime position to take the win again, saying it as if he wasn't before. But as you can see, is OP going to make him choose the outside or the inside? Apparently Jacko doesn't choose either. He might take the wide line though. No, OP does, however, to get the better exit. And Kart Dude has to keep in touch with the back of his teammate if he wants to have any chance of winning. And OP is weaving down the straight. A very weird tactic by Red Bull there, but it might be able to throw off the back. It might be able to throw off Jacko and the Force Indias. It might be enough just to divert them away, divert their attention for about 10 seconds in order for him to pull out that second gap that he needs. But it isn't enough. And OP yet again going with that weaving tactic. He might be able to throw him off, but Jacko is a very unmovable person. He will not falter for any stuff like that. He's seen it all before with my racing. And Kart Dude behind, still sticking within that 6/10 barrier. Whoop, that might be a bit further now, because he did have a bit of an off moment. But now, 12 laps to go. Can OP hold it for those 12 laps though? That is the question. Or will those softs die beforehand and Kart Dude gets sprung back into it? We don't know yet. That's the magic of what they've done now. They've made the race completely open. However, it depends on now if they discount penalties or not. Because Kart Dude does have that 5-second stop-go penalty, which will convert into a 10-second stop-go at the end of the race. So even if Cardew does end up pulling out the win here, he has to pull a 10-second gap unless they just demerit every single one of those penalties. As Jacko moves to go around the outside, he might go for the switchback here. He will. Can he pull it off? He's gone to the outside of OP. They go side by side across the line. Jacko sets the first lap by a 10th behind OP, so it just shows how much both of these guys are pushing. OP sticking to the inside. It depends now on whether or not Jacko can hold it side by side. He can't. And now the Red Bull still holds on to the lead after some miracle. And Cardew's now lost DRS, and that's not what he's going to be looking for. Because if he does end up losing this DRS fully, he might not be able to pull back that gap enough on these soft runners in order to bring it back and win. Because now he's got 11 laps now to wait for those softs to die and to catch back up. I know it's only a second gap, but the second gap can mean anything as long as he isn't in DRS. Oh, OP is choosing a very weird tactic yet again. I'm going to go back to it. Jacko really pushing. OP is swerving everywhere. That's going to be destroying his tyres already. Jacko, out of the three, will probably be getting, out of the two, sorry, of him and OP, will probably be getting the better tyre wear because of this weaving by OP Magic. But the person getting the best tyre wear out of this is obviously Cart Dude. With those mediums. But now he's dropped to 1.6. He's no longer within slipstream now. And that is going to really hurt. Because now OP Magic and Jacko can just slipstream and DRS off of one another. And Cardew can't do anything about it. And OP yet again weaving. This could really come down to the fact that if Jacko cannot make the move, he does. As soon as I say it. I was going to say, if it comes down to the last lap between those two and Jacko does not make the move down the straight, it will just come down to the drag race to the line. And OP makes a... Oh my god! OP has just gone straight on like an arrow. I didn't realise he was in the Mercedes. They must have painted over with the Red Bull scheme. And he's just gone flat, face first into the wall. That is going to be the weirdest accident ever. He might be calling brake failure, or he's probably cursing the Max Verstappen car. But anyway, that is a detached front left wheel, and that is him sitting out of the race. And now it is just a Force India race to the finish. Now, let's see if they decide to be honourable and leave it so it is that close gap of it's them racing each other to the end. Or will Jacko see it as Cart Dude will catch him near the end of the race and will end up obviously like keeping up with the likes of Jacko, and Cardew could, in all honesty, pull us back if they do obviously discount the penalties, because if they don't, then Cardew's just pushing for a lost cause unless Jacko does make the mistakes like we saw Honest Crook doing before. Same with OP. That's how they both ended up out of the fight like majorly until that impromptu safety car. But Jacko just disappearing down in the distance. Depends on whether or not now Cardew wants to put that car into the faster mixture in order to catch him back up. But those white wall tyres are definitely not moving faster than those softs. So it really could be down to the wire. Or it just could be a dead-end way for one of those drivers in particular. But it really just depends. So, to the one person that's watching, I don't know if you're Thai in Guyana, but if you want to take your vote on who's going to win, Jacko with the faster tyres but worse tyre wear, or Cardew with the worst tyres but the better tyre wear, who do you think is going to win? And obviously I'm going to continue commentating whilst wait for an answer if I do get any. But it's unfortunate that both the Red Bulls end up retiring, but it definitely just seemed like it was going to be a two-horse race, like I said, between Jacko and Cardew, the two Force India. So Force India are going to be reveling in the fact that even if these two self-destruct each other like Sergio Perez and Ocon, they're still grabbing that first and second place points because they have passed the halfway period. So it definitely could be a very good points haul for Force India, and the same for Red Bull, because even though neither of them are finishing it, that's still 15 points and 12 points. That's still 27 points. Hey, Nima, there's still 27 points that the Red Bulls will be picking up. But anyway, the Force Indians are still going to be picking up that massive 43 points haul that they may have needed to tip the constructors in their favour, if there is any constructors left, or if it is just Force India versus Red Bull. I don't know at this point because I haven't been keeping up with CNR quite a lot. However, I've just been monitoring the downfall of it through messages, and it's not been looking nice. The numbers that is. Oh yeah. God, yeah, it was a 6-car turn-up and we had 2 cars leave in the middle of qualifying. So, yeah, we had an impromptu safety car, so they had it close. Anyway, but they had it close. Basically, I'm going to give you a rundown what happened in the race. Honest ended up spinning out and OP ended up spinning out. They had an impromptu safety car, but Honest Crook had already left at that point. So it was them 3 racing for a while, and OP had the lead until about lap 18, where he had a Max Verstappen brake failure and went dead on turn 1, and then ended up wrecking out his car. So now it's just between Jacko and Kart Dude. I'm alright. Yourself? But yeah, it's going to be a very high-tailed race for the Force Indias. But it really is just like, we can technically say the driver of the day will go to Kart Dude no matter what, because he did make up those 2 positions. So it looks to be the Red Bulls for once aren't going to be getting the driver of the day, especially one driver in particular. I'm looking at you, MV. But anyway, Kart Dude round in that last corner is 4.5 second gap to his teammate Jacko, and we'll move on a bit onto Jacko's strategy. And basically, you know what their strategy has been is Jacko has gone from super soft to soft, and Kart Dude is pulling off a 1-stop, but it doesn't look like it's working because Jacko has made that soft to soft theory work, because now it's a 5-second gap, and with 7 laps to go, I don't know if Kart Dude's going to be able to pull that back by the time that Jacko's tyres die. I think this could be an easy stroll to victory for Jacko, which it would have been if it wasn't for that safety car anyway. But it could definitely be an interesting race. It depends on what happens really to that Force India underneath that tyre wear. However, Jacko is going to cut down. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So Wimp is not currently racing. Okay, cool. So Jacko is not. Okay, thanks for clearing that up, by the way. So Jacko's catching up to Wimp's lead now, and Force India are going to be catching up to Merckx, or being Force India been leading the entire time. Yeah. Has Force India leading the constructors, or is that Merckx as well? I just need to figure this out now so I can commentate a bit better. Phew. Anyway, yeah, that Force India, like, it's a Force India 1-2 now, no matter what happens. Right. So Force India will be extending their lead on the constructors, and Jacko will be cutting down Wimp's lead, which he will much likely be appreciating to take home another championship if he can. Last season went down to me and him, but since my impromptu disqualification via Russia because of a very hot temper tantrum, I'm no longer in this championship. But I wasn't anyway. I was, I believe, 40 points down going into Russia, and I was just on the worst streak of my life in this game. Still am in AOR as well, and Nima can testify as well, because I'm just not able to pull off anything. But Jacko has been keeping himself in every single league cool, calm and competitive. But why does this look like a real damn race? I don't know. It's probably because the graphics are sort of good-ish. Unfortunately, however, it does get turned off by the point that I do have the sector times up and all that, and the spectator menu. But no, I don't think a real-life race would be just Force Indias racing each other. That would be a very weird race. Oh yeah, oh my god! If you have not seen the AOR commentator, his YouTube channel is Curly Well. Watch him. He's such a good commentator. And now with him, with the thing of kids buyers, this is going to be a really good, like, races to watch back. Like, that's the thing. The replay value with Curly and with Kid Byers, they're a really good team, and it makes you want to watch it again. Because they actually sound realistic, and it's such a good take on the game. And it's just so nice and so refreshing to actually hear a commentator that gives a fuck about the race. Should be in the official channel. I don't know if AOR would allow that. I genuinely don't know, but it should be. But unfortunately for now, it's restricted to Curly's channel. But anyways, shameless plug into AOR and Curly Whirly. If you don't know who they are, check them out. But it's definitely interesting. You're doing bloody well for yourself in AOR, aren't you, Nemo? I think you're higher on points than me at that point. If I'm remembering correctly. They allowed it to Xbox. Yeah, but Xbox was where it mainly kicked off, I believe. And if I'm wrong with that, then please correct me. But I believe that's where it mainly kicked off, and then from there it was... And then it branched over to PS4 and then into Oceania. So, I think for Season 15... Got like 12, yeah. I think for Season 15, I think they're allowed to... I think they're going to have Oceania onto the main channel. But I don't know that yet. Obviously, because I'm not the main part of that. Contrast is... He's like the main link to AOR and the Oceania League. So, it definitely could be... It could be half and half, but he definitely deserves his commentary. They allowed it on Xbox Oceania. Well, Xbox are the bit of the pampered pricks, aren't they? And plus, that's because Ben's in it. Isn't it, Nemo? Like, Ben's in it. Like, of course they would. It's the most financial exposure they'll get. But yeah, like, I've completely zoned out of this race because it is just Jacko pulling away from Kart, dude. Like, nothing new, really. I'm just getting really involved with this. Yeah, it is literally just only because Ben. You're perfectly right there. The funny thing is, I don't even think he's, like, scored that high on point. I think he's having my sort of season. Like, he's having, like, a shite show of a season. I haven't even watched any of his videos because I just can't be fucked. Because it's literally just going to be him self-bragging himself to high shit. And... to be fair, I can't say that it's just him, obviously. Fucking Matty Gallagher before that ends up doing it, and... It's literally just... also, how about GC Sport? What with yesterday and the fucking massive troubles we had with that? Or just GC Sport in general? Laps to go. So this is just a sprint race with a quite clear leader now. But yeah, I've been live streaming for 58 minutes for watching basically a Force India go around the circuit. Yeah, SRL yesterday. That was a shit show and a half. That was absolutely horrendous, and I don't know if Jacko's going to watch this back or not. He might do, I don't know. But SRL, I can't say anything bad because it's a good league, it's a good idea for a league, but it's the way it's like, not to take any shit to the likes of Brody and all that, but the way that was handled yesterday, with Viper not being seen by multiple people, not being able to move, that was very poorly done. Because then we had Viper try to do it, and then Viper had it on open. It was just a shit show of mistakes after mistakes. And then after that as well, like, it was a lost cause, basically, after Viper and Brody had that, like, connection where people couldn't see them. Oh, it's actually started to rain! Well, that's a very interesting game. You kick it up 2 laps from the finish, like a fucking GG game. But yeah, it's literally just Force India's going round and round in a bloody thing. The rain could kick it up, but highly doubt it. Yeah, Brody asked Viper to leave. I don't believe Viper could leave, but could he leave? I don't know if he was able to leave actually, but I think he was locked in by something. But then that should have authorized a closed application, though. That's the main way of doing it. If you can't exit the normal way, close the application. It's just like it's the way you should think if you did care, like, about other people's races and all that, because obviously you can go back to Dragon Tail, like, I hit so many people and let them back through because I did care about their race, but haha, 1 viewer and 21 comments. Well, I had 3 at one point. 3 has been my max, and you're about 19 of those comments. But yeah, the funny thing is we're talking about AOR and SRL, not even TNR at this point. But yeah, Jacko going down the straight. He's going to go around the final corner to start the last lap, sorry. Buddy Brody's 9 seconds behind him. It's just... it's actually just been an easy win for Jacko, really. That's a very annoying thing as a commentator, because I barely had any action. TNR equals shit show. I would argue with that there, but with the way I've been seeing it deteriorate, just 2 days, like, as soon as, like, the shit with me, Contrast, and all that happened, and then Mozza, like, backing out of his own league and then letting someone else run it, it was just fucked. Like, you can't win at that point, especially with, like, the summer break as well. Like, that was a shit show as well, because you had 2 main groups of me and Dynamite versus, like, half of the lobby. That's when it took a real, like, downhill turn. And then it's just snowballed on from there to the point where we only have 4 people driving, and fucking 2 of them are DNF'd on their own accord. It's just like, it just doesn't look like to be a fun league to drive in anymore. And Jacko's just pulling off easy wins now, because if he doesn't have Murph for an actual competitive drive, then it's literally just him just winning. And it's not... I know it isn't fun for Jacko, and it isn't fun for Brody, it isn't fun with anyone involved, but it's the way it's going now, because of the way it's been managed. And of course, you watch this back and it's literally just been like the final lap, it's been ripping out TNR, but it's not a fun thing. Let's see if Jacko finishes in reverse. No, he doesn't. Cocky. Should have finished in reverse. Should have raced so I could bet him. Jesus, Nemo. No betting, all right. Anyway, Jacko finishes, and then Cart Dude parking it up. He might be practicing for his starts, and I think he just did, as we get Aurora Borealis Battlefield shit. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. But, oh wow, what a surprise. Let's have a look. Who could possibly be on the podium? Oh shit, look, it's both the Force Indians and someone that retired. So Jacko wins. Force India takes a 1-2. And then it's Red Bull 3-4. That, I predicted that from the start, because that was just the way the race was going to go. There's no unpredictability now. And that's a really bad factor. It's just... oh, fucking hell. OP Magic with the solid 13 seconds worth of penalties. And Daniel Ricciardo with 5 seconds. But yeah, like, you can see by the timings as well. Bloody Jacko's a full second faster than the only other person that finished. It's just not. It's just not. It just doesn't seem fun to drive or to watch anymore. Like, fuck yeah, Hungary, holy shit, the fireworks that happen there. But 2 team races, like, unless it's a slalom or a relay race, it's just not fun. Bloody hell, imagine that in a game, a league all about bloody relay races. God above. But anyway, I think I'm probably going to end the live stream here because nothing else is going to be kicking off in that sort of a... Oh, pardon me. Finishing point for the thing. Like, it's kind of sad that TNR has come to this, but can't say it wasn't expected. Like, no offense to Moz or the people that are running this currently, you can't say you weren't expecting this outcome now of 4 drivers racing. It was literally impossible not to finish outside the points. Unless you managed to disqualify yourself and still you got 12 points. It's ridiculous. Like, you had no consequence to crashing. And that's just the bad thing about it. But what can you do? Anyway, that has been TNR Malaysia. And I don't know if we're going to be coming back to this or not. But if we do, hopefully it'll be a more intense race and someone that can actually race these 2 Force Indias and OP if he so chooses to keep the car in one piece. But unfortunately that's the way she rolls, and that's the way we're going to have to end it. I've been Stingray, and I hope you enjoyed watching me basically talk for an hour and 5 minutes. Peace.